Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we found something kind of crazy when it comes to the PlayStation 5. Now, there's a somewhat, inoperable issue that has now kind of been found, and it's a really weird, hard thing to go and replicate. Now, as you guys probably know, throughout this past week, we had the PlayStation 5 network go completely out. Like, we're talking like an entire day, a very long period, and although it has been running mostly smoothly right as of this second, and of course, the PlayStation network as well has also offered to give everyone 5 free days in their PlayStation cards, as we talked on the channel. There actually was one user who took that 24-hour period to do some extensive testing. Now, thankfully, I don't think this will be a big issue, at least throughout the next few years, but this is something very intriguing on, and it's very niche. I do want to highlight this. It's very niche, but I thought it was intriguing enough to want to make a video on, because I don't think I've actually seen most other people out there, even the entire YouTube side, go and talk about this, and it kind of is related to as well on the future longevity of your PlayStation, what's going to happen in the future 10, 15 years from now, and also what might happen if maybe just some random person in a post-apocalyptic world meanders their way into a random PlayStation factory and is like, oh my god, I can't wait to play my console, and then they realize even though they may have power, everything goes to complete and they are not able to go and make their console work. Now, this is probably a weird introduction to the video. I don't really know how to highlight the information for it, so if you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy this randomly rare PlayStation glitch / issue that I don't think many people actually thought about. So subscribe if you guys are new. We also are going to be probably watching the state of play on YouTube and also on Twitch, so make sure you guys are either subscribed here or on the Twitch down below. Would love to have you guys there, the Twitters and all that good stuff, and give your thoughts and comments on this one down below. So as you guys probably know over here, we've had a few like on-off issues when it comes to things like the console, and game preservation, keeping your console forever is a big deal. We touch a little bit more about high level of it, is that there's things like CMOS batteries, which are basically if they ever were completely out of power, that means that you were not able to have your PlayStation 5 console connect due to the fact that it's not connecting to the online, and it won't be able to go and kind of sync up the console. And then there's just a weird issue with this. This has been ongoing for the past few years, and we've had issues with this with like, say, old school, maybe like Game Boy games that have these little CMOS batteries too as well, that after like 15, 20 years, they had to be replaced. Now, this is somewhat of a non-issue because most people will probably move to the PlayStation 6 or maybe even the PlayStation 7. And on top of that is like, it's not the biggest thing out there. Like, it's, most people are usually okay. You play through your console for a few years and like it dies at some point, but at that point, who cares? We're gonna be on like augmented reality where we're like plugging our brains into like random microchips and playing like in like random online futuristic worlds. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen in 20 years, but I'm sure a lot of crazy stuff will happen. But this is a problem. Like, over the time, your consoles may die or whatever. But due to the fact that we had the outage, we saw someone go and test out something that not many people have had a chance to even have a chance to try and go and do. And this is regards now to your PlayStation 5 and pairing your disk drive. Now, I do want to say this is probably going to be a non-issue, but it's entertaining nonetheless. Because, well, most of the time, the internet's going to exist. Most of the time, PlayStation is going to be working online, and most of the time, like, you're going to pair your console disc one time, and it should be all right. But apparently now we had Graham Burns saying, I've had a chance to go and test this issue, where if you cannot pair your disk drive to a PlayStation 5, if for whatever reason, the PlayStation network is down. Given that my collection is physical, my PS5 Pro is effectively bricked until the PlayStation network is up again. Now, I'm sure you guys seen this probably connect to the dots. But as you guys probably know, the PlayStation 5 Slim, like, you know, the nice barebone console itself, can be a digital only console. So if you want to be able to go run your physical game editions, you have to spend the $90 on the physical edition disk drive to plug into your console. Same thing too as well with the PlayStation 5 Pro. Due to it being a digital only console, and that did drive a lot of controversy at the time, so thank you guys all for subscribing during that controversy, because at least I have a chance to hang out with you guys, or this one right here. But when it comes to that stuff, you also do have to go and buy the separate PlayStation 5 disc attachment, even for the Pro. So both now the Slims, the digital Slims, and the PS5 Pros, you need to go and pair your disc drive to the console itself. Now, I do want to reiterate again, because I don't want to be a hater. I just found this very interesting. And it is somewhat like of a big dialogue too as well for future issues, where that will not go and pair. I'm also not really sure exactly why you need to go and somehow pair your disk drive, but as I mentioned, if you guys don't know, you actually do have to go and, well, pair your console with the disk drive to basically make it all work and make it all like, utilize. And that also kind of goes in that same issue as we mentioned at the start of the video with the CMOS batteries, where there's just this weird hardware limitations that you need to go make sure it's fully syncing on with the console to make sure it can work. Now, as you guys can probably see on the screen too, if you're trying to pair your disk drive in this very rare situation when the PlayStation Network is gone, it says this: you can't use your disk drive. Something went wrong when registering your disk drive to your PS5. Select try again to try registering your disk drive again. If the problem persists, wait a while, then restart your PS5. So this is like the literal error screen that would pop on up, which is weird. So why is this an issue now? Why am I talking about this? What can happen over here? So as you probably have heard me mention from the CMOS battery, or just if the PlayStation Network goes offline, which it possibly can, although we will most likely have many years to fix it. So this is not like a today issue. This is not even a next 5 years issue, most likely. Because I mean, look at how long the PS3 stayed intact, and the PS4 as well. But it is a very interesting thing to go and know. And I'm not trying to make this overblown. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, verbatim, if someone leaves a weird comment, it's not the biggest deal. But it's interesting, and it can be an issue in the future. So that's why I kind of use that weird metaphor of like a post-apocalyptic world. Because what would happen if you go and say you want to keep your console that you spent $800 on in today's money, which in theory could be like $2,000 15, 20 years down the road due to inflation, just how the world works. And like, well, you may want to keep it. Or maybe you're a big game collector. You want to go and keep your console. But usually you have to pair your disk drive one time. So ideally, throughout an ideal world, if you have a disk drive, you have already paired it. Like, it should be a non-issue. But once again, the future. What if you go buy a brand new PS5 Pro or a PS5 Slim 20 years down the road? Once again, not the biggest issue. I have to reiterate that because YouTube comments can get kind of crazy sometimes. And then you want to go and be like, well, I have all this cool disc games from my PS5 back in the day. Let me go and try to go and pair a disc drive. And then maybe like the console itself, like maybe even loses a CMOS battery. Maybe it's been turned on in 5 years, so it has to have a weird reset. That's happened to me, just me unplugging my PS5 and have to change settings to use a capture card. Like, it happens in technology. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Or your phone sometimes automatically resets. It happens. And then at that time, it just doesn't work. I don't know. It's a very intriguing niche issue because we've almost always had the time to have the PlayStation Network live to go and have a chance to pair it. And now with the brand new PS5 issues, some people have actually just gotten their console like 2 days ago and a chance to go and put this on into as well. So it's intriguing. It's intriguing. It's not a big deal, as I keep on mentioning, I keep on reiterating it on, but it is something unique that is probably really hard to replicate, but it can be an issue. Because like I said, 20 years down the road, what if for some odd reason you get one, you buy one secondhand, you never pair it with your console, and there is like gonna probably be hundreds of millions of PlayStation 5s out there. Same with the Pros in combination with it. And while, like I said, a lot of them will be paired at the time, it's still an intriguing, really rare issue that somehow has now happened due to this PlayStation Network outages. And it's intriguing to go and see. Now, some people in the comment section are kind of being like, hey, what's up with this? What's the problem with this? Exactly. And some people are kind of going over here, saying, what even is the point of needing the PSN to pair a disk drive? And I don't even know. Why do you need to have your internet connection to pair this with your console? That does seem really stupid and weird and strange, and I don't know why. Truly do not. I mean, maybe it's just some hardware stuff, or I don't know. I've never been a big fan of online implementation, like always on games. You have to update servers, and we saw that a lot on the PSN network this past week. But it's intriguing to go and know because, yeah, it's true. They're saying, can you maybe go and have like a disk drive, maybe like for hacking people? Like people maybe doing like Blu-ray disc copies and playing old school like games like a God of War Ragnarok that they just found from like China or something and just try to burn it. I don't know. There's actually a chance to go and see who actually knows. Or as well, same issues with the cloud. Like what if for some reason the cloud gets fully reset for at some point they have a big glitch issue, I don't know what happened this week, and all your consoles went and got reset too. It's just a really weird issue. It's not a big deal. I want to keep on reiterating that. Like I've said it like 5 times, but once again, YouTube comments can get kind of crazy. I don't know, I've seen some dumb stuff. It's not the biggest issue. Most likely the internet will be working today, and you plug in your console and you sync it all and it works out instantaneously, and then you're good. Or maybe potentially ever, or maybe for the next 20 years. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you go to the PS6, PS7, PS8, and you don't care. That's totally fine. I just think it's an entertaining video and topic to go talk about. I once again reiterating that. But it's intriguing to go and see because this is just really random. It's very hard to go and test this because it's just a really, really strange issue too as well. But they're also saying too, if you somehow for some odd reason maybe potentially factory reset your console, rebuild your database, or even had your PS5 crash, you once again can also have your console potentially be out of luck. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird niche issue that was somehow exposed, and I think it's intriguing to note that this, through testing, is actually a potential long-term issue. Now, is it going to affect 99.99% of you guys, as I mentioned throughout this video? No, but maybe 20 years, 30 years down the road for collectors, it might be. And like I said, it's a non-issue now. That's why I just want to talk about it, because hopefully no one's freaking out, because everything should be working fine on the PlayStation Network. So I don't know, give me your thoughts and comments. We are going to be doing a little bit of a stream, I think, later on today for the PlayStation State of Play, so subscribe here with the notifications on. Give me your thoughts and comments. I yapped a little bit extra on this one, just want to talk about it. We have all the Twitters and Twitches down below, and I appreciate you all so much for watching here in the first place.